Walton can tip it. Bryant with the save.
Oh, you got to get a shot here.
Final second.
Look at the time. 9:58 world record. I told you, Tom Hammond.
The ball. Lewis gets it to LeBron for 3 for the win. Yeah!
Ladies and gents, you know it's Mr. Cleanup Gang, and I don't miss nothing at all. So I know you guys are wondering why I got Mr. Al Haymon, Deontay Wilder, Gervonta Tank Davis, and Errol Spence Jr. on the screen displayed, and it says the end is near. Now, when people think about Al Haymon, they think about a black successful man that put other black successful men in the position to make a whole lot of money, not knowing that this man is a snake, right? When I mean snake, I mean he promotes these guys at top fighters, right? He give them decent amount of money, but while he's doing that, he's robbing them right in front of their eyes, right? And they don't even know that, right? Same as Mayweather, because Mayweather, he's just like Al Haymon. It's no different. When Adrian Broner came out and he said they're trying to rob my brother, they're not trying to give him much money that he really deserved, they're talking about Mr. Tank Davis, right? So these guys, Al Haymon got Errol Spence Jr. and Gervonta Tank Davis as top fighters. Mind you, Deontay Wilder, out of all three of these guys, he's a true warrior, right? Deontay Wilder, he went out on his shield. He wasn't afraid to fight anyone whatsoever. He went out on his shield. He did what he was supposed to do, but he was just unsuccessful. My hat goes off to Deontay Wilder. But when Deontay Wilder lost, Phil Money Mayweather came out and started bashing him, right? Do you think that Al Haymon wasn't aware of this and wasn't aware of that Phil Money Mayweather was gonna bash Deontay Wilder? You don't think they spoke about Deontay Wilder? These guys are smart. These guys are business partners. These guys are cohesive. They're very close to each other. So Al Haymon was aware that they were going to bash the shit out of Deontay Wilder and make Deontay Wilder look bad. Now, since Deontay Wilder lost, we haven't heard shit about Deontay Wilder. I heard they made a statue for him. Big whoop. We want to know when is going to be Deontay Wilder's return. We want to know when he's going to get in the ring. We don't care about no statue. We want to know when he's going to get in the ring. The statue is not going to heal about what happened to him in, what's his name, Tyson Fury. Because believe it or not, it was a black and white battle between Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. A lot of people don't want to admit it, but it was black and it was white. There was a lot of black people that was a fan of Tyson Fury, and there's a lot of white people that were a fan of Deontay Wilder. But at the end of the day, it was majority a race battle. It was about to see what race prevailed, right? And Deontay Wilder, he lost, right? And I still give my hats out to him because he tried. And I believe, this is just me, I believe that Tyson Fury wasn't fighting fair. I believe, now I'm not talking about no Glovegate, I believe they allowed this man to take illegal substances because they were his investment. They're invested in Tyson Fury, right? So I believe that the NBA boxing allow him to take the steroids. I don't care what y'all want to say. You don't go from just not knocking everybody out to knocking everybody out. It just doesn't happen, right? So now that Deontay Wilder lost, and now that Deontay Wilder is not who they want him to be anymore, right? He doesn't have that leverage anymore. They kick him to the curb, right? We haven't heard nothing about Deontay Wilder. Now we got Errol Spence Jr., a hype train, right? Not saying that he's not good, but he's a hype train. Errol Spence Jr. been at 147 for like 9 or 10 years, right? And they have this idea that Errol Spence Jr. is doing the heavy lifting, right, in the welterweight division. Now, if you look at Errol Spence Jr.'s opponents, right, such as Yordenis Ugas, who had 4 losses before he faced Errol Spence Jr. He had lost to Emmanuel Robles, he had lost to Amir Mam, and he lost to somebody else, and he lost to Sean Porter. And they have this man as doing the heavy lifting, and he's a top welterweight. Mind you, all of these guys that he faced suffered losses. So when you think about heavy lifting, you're thinking about somebody that's doing the hard work. So you telling me it's hard work to figure out guys that already lost, guys that already exploit these guys' weaknesses. It's hard work to figure these guys out. You You're telling me you're doing the heavy lifting when other guys already defeated them? Y'all got to make it make sense. It's all a facade, right? It's all a facade. Al Haymon, he's a marketing genius. He knows how to build these guys up to make these guys into so-called superstar, right? But you're wondering why they're pushing Gervonta Tank Davis so much, right? They're pushing Tank Davis so much because they're going to be doing the same thing that they do with Tank Davis with Errol Spence Jr., right? They're going to make Tank Davis fight everybody in the world apart from the guys that he's supposed to be fighting at his weight division, right? We all seen Tank Davis had an opportunity to fight Lomachenko, and he came out and he said what? Mayweather is setting him up. Mayweather is setting him up. He do not want to fight Lomachenko, right? He did not want to have nothing to do with Lomachenko, but he can go to 140 and fight Mario Barrios and skip around, fight Rolly, like Rolly is supposed to be somebody big, and he knocked out Rolly, but people are forgetting that he had lost to Pitbull Cruz previously before that fight, and they gave him the victory. People forgot that Tank Davis isn't fighting nobody in his weight division. And when he did fight somebody with a name with a little bit of buzz, what happened? He lost, and they still gave him the victory, right? He had an opportunity to fight Lomachenko, right? When Lomachenko was buzzing. And what he said? Mayweather is setting him up. So they're not going to put Tank in the ring with either Devin Haney or Shakur Stevenson. Do you know why? Because they know that these guys are the better fighter, right? And Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson, they're fighting on Top Rank. So the whole facade that PBC, they have the better fighter, that is a lie, right? It is a lie. I don't want y'all to tell me nothing about Al Haymon being black, because if y'all didn't know, this is a brief history. Malcolm X died by black people. Again, Malcolm X died by black people. He died by Louis Farrakhan, got set up by Louis Farrakhan because he figured out that Elijah Muhammad was having sex with underage girls. So I don't want to hear nothing about black people. Not everything black is good. And Al Haymon, he's sure not good for the sport of boxing, because all he does is lie, and he make people believe his lies. There's no way in hell that Gervonta Tank Davis is a top fighter right now. He hasn't proven anything. He's not fighting nobody in his weight class. He ain't beating nobody in his weight class with a belt significantly, right? So why should we look at Gervonta Tank Davis as a superstar? Because he's being marketed as a superstar. He got all the little rappers coming out to his fights. He is not a superstar, bro. The real superstar is Devin Haney, that just went over there to Australia to beat Camboso and took his belt and became undisputed, bro. The real fighters and the real warriors are Shakur Stevenson, that just put the beatings on Oscar Valdez. That's the real. Those are the real superstars right there. But it's a facade, right? They make you think that these PBC guys, they're the top fighters, and they're not, right? Because Yordenis Ugas, he lost to Sean Porter, right? Sean Porter beat Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia lost to Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman lost to this guy. This guy lost to this guy. There is no ranking over there for you guys to determine who is no top welterweights. These guys aren't no top welterweights. There is no ranking, because they're going to keep losing to each other, and they're still going to be top welterweights, and it does not make any sense. Now, if you look at the guys over there on Top Rank, and I'm not trying to say that Top Rank, they're angels. They're pieces of shit too. They don't allow fighters to grow into the superstar that they want to be. Once they becoming that superstar, they try to stunt their group. Al Haymon, Bob Arum, he knows how to build fighters, but he don't know how to bring them to the next level. He doesn't want to bring them to the next level, or else, unless, they got a different complexion, right? We've seen them how they was pushing Lomachenko. We seen what they was doing to Lomachenko. We seen what they doing to Inoue right now. We see what they doing, bro. So I don't mess with both sides. But what I can tell you is, y'all can't sit here and say that Al Haymon is black, so he's in the best interest of. No, you cannot say that, because you know why? If Al Haymon was in the best interest of African Americans, right, he wouldn't be trying to stop Terrence Bud Crawford from succeeding. And it's evidence, right? Shawn Porter came out on the Porter Wade podcast and he said it through his own tooth that he has people that he has to listen to that advise him not to fight Terrence Bud Crawford. It's not in his best interest to fight Terrence Bud Crawford. Now, why would Al Haymon tell Shawn Porter that if Shawn Porter fought Terrence Bud Crawford and made the biggest purse of his career? Why would he tell him that? Why would he tell him such a thing that will be able to help his family and help him? And not only he would get a lot of money, he had an opportunity of taking Terrence Bud Crawford's belt. Why would Al Haymon stop Shawn Porter to make progress for himself, right? And this is just me having a conversation with y'all, so y'all know that these guys are bullshit, right? Not everything black is good. Y'all got to understand that. I'm not trying to say that Bob Arum is an angel. I do not fuck with Bob Arum at all. I'll make that clear. I don't fuck with Bob Arum. Bob Arum came out and he tried to trash Terrence Bud Crawford. He tried to make Terrence Bud Crawford look like he ain't shit. And it's a matter of time that he do it to Devin Haney and these guys. But that doesn't mean that they should go over there and fight for the PBC either. These guys need to make their own path, do something else, create something else. But these two sides shouldn't be the only option because they're both fuck niggas. And I want the fans to understand that. Don't sit here and look at Al Haymon as a black person. So he means the sport good. No, he does not mean the sport good. He means his pocket good. Just like Floyd Money Mayweather. Floyd Money Mayweather made a living off of y'all. Floyd Money Mayweather done fought niggas that don't even box. He fought Conor McGregor and got 50-0 by fighting Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor doesn't even box. He's not even a real boxer. And he improved his record to 50-0 for fighting Conor McGregor. And I'm not hating on Mayweather, bro, because I know when Mayweather was actually in his prime, he was out here stopping guys. He was one of the best fighters ever. But once he got older, he realized the blueprint. I don't got to fight nobody, bro. I do whatever I want to do, right? So I want you guys to understand that it's a facade, right? The real top fighters and the real warriors are on top rank. Devin Haney's and Shakur's, they're on top rank. Errol Spence Jr. been boxing for how long? For like 10 years, right? He still can't become undisputed. Little Devin Haney just became undisputed, and Shakur Stevenson is following in the right footsteps to become undisputed too. He's gonna become undisputed probably before Errol Spence Jr. So the idea that these guys are on the PBC, they making a whole lot of money, they the superstars, they the best fighters, is all lies. Al Haymon knows how to promote. He's a weasel. He's a snake. Y'all got to understand that. We already know what Bob Arum is about. We know what he's about. We heard this man sit here and violate his own fighter in Terrence Bud Crawford. So I don't expect nothing different from Bob Arum. Bob Arum, right? Bob Arum, come on, bro. I don't want to call Bob Arum that word because then it's going to be a whole different thing. But Bob Arum has proven that he rather the face of Top Rank to be a Caucasian. A different complexion from the melanated skin of black people, right? He don't want that. He doesn't want that. He want a Caucasian to be the face of Top Rank. So we are well aware of that. But what y'all don't know is that Al Haymon is nothing different. He's extorting these guys over there. He's building them up into superstars. He's giving them decent amount of money, and he's robbing them dry. Errol Spence Jr., how much he made the other day? Like $1.5 million to face Ugas. Y'all gotta understand, and y'all gotta be way smarter than this, right? Boxing is not about fighting no more. It's about business. And Al Haymon, he's supposed to be black, right? And instead he try to uplift these black fighters or these Latino fighters. He's robbing them dry, bro. He's robbing them dry. And when he's finished with them, he dispose of them. Dispose of them. That's all I gotta say. If they ever lose by a top-ranked fighter, he dispose of them. If they ever lose by anybody else that's not a part of the PBC, he disposed of them. Because what he tells them is, it's not in your best interest to fight these niggas. Y'all gotta understand what it is when it comes to the sport of boxing, bro. The sport of boxing is very corrupted. It's run by mobsters and all this extra shit. Y'all don't know behind the scenes what happened in boxing. Y'all know what they show y'all. And I'm able to see right through this shit because my intelligence is it's in a different dimension. Right? I'm able to do research and I'm able to listen to words and listen to and to watch the actions of these PBC fighters and listen to guys like Adrian Broner that people call crazy that's telling us that they're robbing Tank Davis over there. Right? That's what y'all got to understand. But you got Turnbull Crawford that's defeating undefeated fighters like Jose Benavidez, Jeff Horn, and Igor Kavalauskas. They try to downplay that. Do you know what heavy lifting is? These guys never lost. If they have weaknesses, their opponent wasn't able to exploit it enough to get that victory, right? So it's up to Turnbull Crawford to do the heavy lifting and defeat these guys. The hard work in defeating these guys. It's not hard work if you watch these guys lost like 3 times, 4 times, 2 times, and watch other guys defeat them, exploit their weakness enough to get that victory. Shouldn't be that hard for you to come in and beat them too. If you don't beat them, that means you're not better than them, and that's it. So the fact that they have Errol Spence Jr. as the big dog at that welterweight division, and Bud has defeated more champions than that man, right, throughout his whole career, and Bud has defeated more undefeated champions. Bud has knocked out more people than Errol Spence Jr. since he's been at that weight division, right? Or it's about even, I would say, right? But it's sad because he came all the way up from 135. So when I say the end is near, what I mean is Errol Spence Jr., he's going to get his ass whooped by Turnbull Crawford. Tank, he's going to run up in something that he don't want. He's going to find the next no name, and he's going to be surprised just like what Pitbull Cruz did to him. And these guys are going to suffer their loss. And when they lose, they're going to see the true Al Heyman come on. And they're going to dispose of these guys. And they're going to find somebody else like Jerron Boots Ennis to push. And I believe ain't nothing wrong with that because that man is actually that good. You feel me? And I don't think that man is afraid to fight anyone. So y'all let me know what y'all think. Make sure y'all leave a like. Make sure y'all hit that subscription button. And make sure y'all share this video. Oh, yeah. And Bob Arum is a motherfucking racist.